the link between division and fractions.
So the first thing we need to know is what's a fraction? Well, a fraction is an equal part of anything. It might be something that's cut into 3, something that's cut into or split into 6. They're all fractions provided they're an equal part. That means all parts have to be the same size. So if this is my whole and I want to make it into a fraction, if I cut it in 2, we'll have halves. There we go. I've cut it in half. Notice I've cut it in 2 and it's 1/2, which is 1/2. 1 part of 2. 1 part of 2. If I cut it in 3, we've got thirds. 1 part of a whole which has been cut into 3 parts. So it's a third. This plate has been cut into 4 or quarters. How do you think we write 1/4? Well done. 1/4, 1/4. And so it goes on. Can you tell what fraction each one of these is? Well done. 1/8. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts, so they're eighths. That's all well and good, but how does that relate to division? Let's have a look. Let's start with an easy one. What is half of 8? You all know what half of 8 is. We've learnt this. Half of 8 is 4. We know that half of 8 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Split it in half. Half of 8 is 4. Or 8 shared between or divided by 2 is 4. We've split the 8 in 2 between 2 people. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Note the 2. Note the half. 1/2. We've split the plate in 2. Let's try another one. This time I wanted to think about what a quarter of 12 is. What have we got to share 12 between to find a quarter? That's right, we've got to share it between 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A quarter is 4 equal parts. So if we want to find a quarter of 12, we've got to share 12 between 4. Or we could write it 12 divided or shared between 4 equals 1, 2, 3. So our answer is 3. How are we doing? Are you with me so far? Do you understand? Note the bottom number of the fraction is what we're dividing by. So this time I'm after a third of 15. What's the bottom number of the fraction? 3. So what do I need to divide my circle into? 3. What am I dividing by or sharing between? 3. What number is it that I'm sharing? 15. I wonder what the answer will be. Let's work it out. There we go. I've shared my sweeties out into my 3 parts of my plate and I've got 5 in each part. So my answer is 5. 1/3 of 15 is 5. Or 15 divided by 3 is 5. Remember, the bottom number is of the fraction is how many we're dividing by, how many we're splitting our plate into. Oh, this one's a tricky one. What is 1/10 of 20? 1/10. How do you think we write that? There you go, that's how we write it. 1/10. 1/10. So how many are we dividing by? How many are we sharing by? We're sharing between 10. We're dividing by 10. How many do I have to split my plate into? 10. So I've split my plate into 10 equal parts, well, supposedly equal parts, and I've got to share out my 20. 20 divided by 10. So I'm going to go round and share them out. And there's 2 in each, so my answer is 2. 1/10 of 20 is 2. Well done if you're still with me, girls and boys. What we need to remember is it doesn't actually matter what shape our plate is. I've used a round plate, but it could be a rectangular plate split into 4 or 6. And what we're really concentrating on when we're thinking about division and fractions is what's called the denominator, the bottom number of the fraction, because that is what you're dividing by. So remember that tricky word, denominator, that's that, just there. It's that, it's that. And that means that's what you're dividing by. So if the denominator is 2, you're dividing by 2. 1/2, you divide by 2. If the denominator is 8, you're dividing by 8. 1/8, divide by 8. If the denominator is 4, you've guessed it, we're dividing by 4. What number? Exactly the same number, 6. 80, 12. These two things mean the same. So 1/2 of 6, split it in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Answer is 3. You knew that already. 1/8 of 80 then. So we have to divide it into 8 this time. It's into quarters, that's into 4. And then again, that's into 8. So now I've got 8 equal-ish. They're supposed to be equal parts. I'm not going to count 80 into each of them. I'm going to use my tables. I know that if I use my 8 times tables, I will find the answer. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 10. So my answer is 10. That was a bit of a tricky one to use my tables for, wasn't it? I had to really think about my 8 times tables then. Remember, when you're doing division, you can use your tables. We've done that loads and loads in class, using your tables to do division. I'm just doing a division sum, 80 divided by 8. But if I was doing a division sum, 16 divided by 2, I'd use my 2 times tables. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. The answer is 8. We've done that lots and lots, so you should remember how to do that. So the last one, we're doing a quarter of 12. Divide this into 4 separate parts, just like we were doing with the plate. We're doing 12 divided by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 3 in each box, so my answer is 3. Well done if you've managed to understand that. What your job is today is to match a fraction sum, a division sum, and an answer. You need to print this one out really. If you can't print it out, then you can look on your screen and write them out because they're all in a muddle. I'll show you. So this is the sheet. You can see you've got your dividing sums, you've got your fractions. Now these fractions are a bit tricky. That is 1/2. They're not on top of each other because my computer doesn't do that. So that's 1/2. That's 1/4, all right? Just they're next to each other rather than on top of each other. And there's your answers. So I've cut them up and I've spread them out. Now I've got to match them. So if I go for 1/2 of 40, 1/2 of 40 just here, I know it's got to be a divide by 2 because the denominator is 2. So it's 2 divided by 40, 40 divided by 2 even. There's my 40 divided by 2, and I'm not going to match my answer just now. I'm going to keep matching my sums. What is a third? So that's divide by 3 of 3. So that would be a third, a divide by 3, and it's 3 divided by 3. There it is, until I've matched up all of my blue and green ones. So now I need to find my answer. Half of 40. Well, I know half of 40 is 20 because I know half of 4 is 2, and I've got to put a 0 on the end. 3 times tables to work out a third of 3. If I've got 3 things, I'm going to have, oh, it's going to be 1, isn't it? Because I'm going to put them in 3 different plates. 3 times table 3. It's just 1. 30 divided by 3. I'll use my 3 times tables. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 28, 30. That's 10. So I need 10. You need to keep going until you've got all your answers. So it's the same worksheet for all of you, just with different numbers on. So you choose whether you want to do mild, hot or spicy. Good luck. Let me know how you get on. If you have any problems, just give me a shout. Bye.